Corvette of Kilian Drumont, Guy de Bruyne, the Dutchman in the Ferrari F40 in 4th place. He's ahead of Valerio Gallo on row 3 in the Ford GT. Then you've got Jose Serrano in the Lexus LFA. Kilian Roach in the Mercedes-Benz McLaren SLR 7th on the grid, ahead of Coque Lopez in the Porsche 911 GT3. Angel Estrada lines up P9 in the Lamborghini Diablo, ahead of Guy Barbara in the McLaren F1. And the final row of the grid is comprised by Adriano Carrazza in the Dodge Viper, ahead of the second Ford GT. That's Robbie Heck down in 12th position. Home track for him, Watkins Glen. He'll be hoping to get a bit closer to his compatriot in 7th.
Man, it's just so cool to see this lineup of cars about to take on 7 laps of Watkins Glen. Now look out front, Mierzone is out front in that F50. He, even with the rolling start, is going to be punching a hole for all the cars behind him down to that first chicane. So until he gets there, Mierzone, I imagine, is going to be driving in his mirrors, and pretty much it's his to lose. If you're in mid-pack like Gallo or Serrano, actually you're going to be in the train, in the slipstream train, and you've got as better chance of anyone as moving up the field. But keep an eye out on that Viper, keep an eye out on that Ford GT as well. I was told earlier they're pretty quick in this class, so cars definitely to watch throughout the race. So Takuma Mierzone leads the field then around the final corner here at Watkins Glen. We're about to get the sprint race underway for the Nations Cup here for World Series 1 in Montreal. It is going to be Takuma Mierzone leading the field across the timeline, but who will be taking the checkered flag in 7 laps time and starting on pole position for the grand final? We're about to go racing here. The Nations Cup is underway in 2024 as Mierzone leads the field down to T1, followed by Sasaki and Drumont. Don't expect any dive bombs down towards the first corner. That rolling starts spreading the field out a little bit, but when it begins to bunch up in the middle part of the first lap, that's where we could see moves being made. But Mierzone a little bit wide there. Sasaki having a half look to the inside into turn 2, but now he's right in the wheel tracks here of the Ferrari F50 as we come over the crest of the hill and in towards the middle sector, and Sasaki already trying to be on the attack here in the Maserati MC20. Drumont trying to follow him through as well. We're going to be attacking here with Drumont. He splits the 2. That is absolutely fantastic for Kilian Drumont. He's on the outside of Mierzone and he leads into the chicane. What a start from the Frenchman, 3rd to 1st in half a lap. Yeah, big support here for Kilian Drumont as he makes his way up into first place. Sasaki then just ran into the back of Mierzone, killed his momentum, and that just allowed Kilian Drumont, who had the slipstream, just to drive on by. Meanwhile, Guy de Bruyne behind is defending hard from Valerio Gallo in that Ford GT. It is Ferrari, Ford, Lexus and McLaren SLR line astern at the moment as we come onto the boot section here at Watkins Glen. Upper right hand to get into the inside, get into the camber, let it use that to turn the car, and now accelerate hard uphill towards the next heavy braking zone. Gallo there looking very aggressive and kind of just putting a wheel on the grass. That will slow him down a little bit coming over the crest. Looks like Gallo's going to have a chance here. Looks to the inside. We know he can just make a move easy there. Gallo up the inside, up into P4, and he'll be now in pursuit of the top 3 in front of him.
These are the kind of races I absolutely love in Gran Turismo. The gloves will be off. It is all-out war with these drivers. It matters for where they're going to start on the grid for the grand final. Guy de Bruyne there, a little bit wide. Serrano looking through on the inside in the Lexus LFA. No, can't find his way past at the moment, but look at the gap the top 3 have got already at the end of this first lap. It's Kilian Drumont who leads the field around the final corner at the end of lap 1, followed by Mierzone, followed by Sasaki.
Big moment under braking there for Sasaki. The car got all kinds of sideways, but that is a challenge of these production style cars. Not quite as stiffly sprung as the race prepared machine, so they do move around a lot under brake, and awesome to see Sasaki there just gathering back up and get back into the chase. Up to lap 2 there, lap 2 of 7 here at Watkins Glen. We're on board now with Sasaki. He's going to be again in the tow of Mierzone, and that F50 a little bit weak in a straight line compared to the cars around him, which means that Sasaki should do, if he doesn't run into the back of Mierzone this time, goes to the outside. He should have the overspeed. Mierzone's going to make him work for it. Pinches his fellow countryman there. That's a little bit cheeky there from Mierzone. Stops the move being made. What do you reckon of that, Tom?
Stewards might be able to look at that. I don't think that was entirely fair because Sasaki had to get out the throttle to avoid going onto the grass. The thing is now, you've got to keep an eye out for Valerio Gallo, this man here in the Ford GT. What he needs to hope for is that the top 3 start squabbling and fighting amongst one another, because that will bring this lot right back into play. At the moment, they build up such a comfortable cushion that they don't really have to be worrying about too much. But if it gets a bit unfair later on, we'll see what happens. Speaking of unfair, and speaking of moves being made, let's have a look at this from Kilian Drumont. So you can see riding on board, oh, beautiful, just absolute cream and almonds through the middle there, splits the two, down into the bus stop, and he's through and ahead.
That's just 100% commitment, 100% confidence. You need that to do well here at the GT World Series Nations Cup. Meanwhile, the squabble for the mid-pack continues. Jose Serrano gets by Kai de Bruin, had a bit of a poor start so far, down 2 places from his qualifying position. And Gallo, unfortunately, at the head of his pack, still unable to make any headway really into Sasaki and Miyazono. So just an FYI, if you're watching for the first time, you're wondering why he's got us bump drafting down the straight. But you're not allowed to do that. So you've got to do it on pace alone, as they say. So on board with Kai de Bruin in that beautiful Ferrari F40, a little bit older than some of the cars around them, but still awesome to see it going now.
And also, if you're wondering why these cars are able to race against one another, you're thinking, a car that's 20 years older than some of the other machinery, is because we've got balance of performance. It gives us the opportunity to basically allow us to have a Lexus LFA fighting with a Ferrari F40, which in the real world you wouldn't get.
I feel sorry for Kai, because all we can hear right in front of him is the LFA. You can't hear his own car.
That wailing V10.
Yeah. What a noise that makes. Meanwhile, the fight for second continues between Miyazono and Sasaki. Now, what will Miyazono do this time? Sasaki's going to try the long way around again. He'll carry more speed there, so he's got loses distance, carries more speed. He's in the draft of Miyazono, but not close. In the background, though, the fight for 4th place is really hotting up. Serrano looks like he's got by Gallo. No, he hasn't. Gallo dives back up the inside, retains 4th position for now, and this group is very slowly starting to catch the group in front, but it's not quick enough at the moment. Fastest lap so far belongs to Kylian Drumont, who's out on his own. He's pulled away from this pack. That is very impressive in a circuit that is so dependent on slipstream.
Oh, kind of Bruin looking with a bit of hip and shoulder on the inside there of Jose Serrano. Smattering of contact between the Lexus and the Ferrari. That might allow Cullen Roach into play there as well. Coming through into the final sector we go. Serrano with a defensive tighter line. You see De Bruin there using the throttle on, off, trying to find the right application of it. He eventually has to just sit in the wheel tracks of the Lexus for the time being. But has he got enough opportunity, enough momentum to have a lunge up the inside? No, thinks better of it for the time being, but they haven't got time on their side. They've got to be a bit careful about this, because it's going to be counting down before they know it. We're already over the halfway stage.
Yeah, that F40 isn't looking too far mid-corner. He's stabbing that throttle, just trying desperately to get some rotation out of it, but just not able to do that whilst carrying any sort of tangible speed there. So this little second pack there it's still formed of a few kilometers at the back. So here's a replay. This is Sasaki and Miyazono. Was this 4th position? No, there's another bit of contact between them. Sasaki gets up the inside there of Miyazono, and he makes a move up into P2. We missed that completely on launching the battle, so our apologies there. But Sasaki does get by Miyazono then, finally, and now is able to chase Kylian Drumont. But I think already it's maybe a little bit too late.
Yeah, 2 seconds in, 3 laps? It's going to be a very tall order, that's for sure, for Takuma Sasaki, Valerio Gallo, Serrano, Kai de Bruin. You could throw a blanket over these 3 drivers at the moment. They are absolutely giving no quarter at the moment. You see De Bruin darting out the slipstream. You can see Roach there in the background in the McLaren SLR trying to go through. Here comes Serrano. He's going to go past Valerio Gallo if he's not too careful. Down the back straight we go into the chicane. Gallo once again has track position. Does that upset Serrano's rhythm and allow De Bruin maybe an opportunity from behind to try and attack? He's in a really unfortunate position here, is Jose Serrano. Such is the close competition that we've got. He's having to look in his mirrors whilst trying to keep an eye on what Gallo's doing in front of him.
Yeah, really strong defending there from Gallo as well, just being very assertive with the positioning of the car, saying no, I'm going to this is my corner, I'm having the apex. And Serrano, through experience and through skill, I might add, just able to decipher that body language from Gallo in front and go, you know what, okay, I'll back out this time, but give another go the next lap. But these guys are so close right now. At the back of this little pack, we spoke about it, we've got Callum Roach in the SLR McLaren and Cocaine Lopez, who are still part of this battle, but just not able to move up on the straight at the moment.
So down the back straight we go in towards this tight right hand, and there's a lot of medium speed corners on this circuit. There's not really any dive bomb opportunities in this part of the lap. You can see flicking it through the left hander, very much one at a time, one line corners through there, especially the elevation changes. You can see everybody running it really nicely and really clean. A lot of respectful racing going on, but no dive bombs being made. I gather though, as we get to the final few laps of this race, that's when we're going to start seeing moves being made.
On board now with Callum Roach in the SLR McLaren. I love this car. I love seeing it out here and racing against a smattering of other awesome 90s and plus supercars. Great to see them all out here competing like this. If you're unfamiliar with what this race means, it is setting the position order for the race, the grand final. So if Kylian Drummond finishes first, he will be on pole position, and so on and so forth. So it's important. Any position counts here.
Certainly does. Miyazono then on the back of Takuma Sasaki through the right-hander we go, and he's really trying to challenge his compatriot now as we come down the back straight. Sasaki's pulling out of the slipstream. Look at that behind. It's like watching a darts game, isn't it? They're just throwing it through. On the inside there is Kai de Bruyne on Jose Serrano. A decisive move from the Dutchman as he goes up into 5th place, and now his next target is going to be Valerio Gallo. A little bit sideways mid-corner there for de Bruyne. Keep an eye out for that, because he's had a few mid-corner moments. Gallo has a bit of a wiggle on the exit there as well, but he's just parking that car exactly where he needs to. Was there a bit of contact there into the left-hander? I think there was. Yeah,
sideways there. Kind of did a good job to gather that back up again, but I get the sneaking suspicion there's going to be quite a big accident quite soon if these guys keep going. It's right. Kai there really struggling. I think there might have been contact again from behind from Jose Serrano. It might have been oversteer into the corner. It's hard to tell from that cockpit angle, but Kai now, I think, really struggling to keep that F40 pointing the right way. Down the background, Coque Lopez out looking for a move on Callum Roach. He gets through in the Porsche. Up into P7 then goes Coque Lopez, and Coque's not really done much this race. This guy is a very decorated GT driver. Oh, Callum Roach up the inside. Big lunge there. NASCAR-style move from Callum Roach, moving Coque Lopez off the apex up into P. Oh, who is that?
In the background, that's the Ford GT going off the track. And that is, Robbie Heck, the American driver in his home race, spinning out of contention and spinning out of a good starting position for the grand final.
What a shame there, but it just shows you how close and how aggressively these guys are racing. We're going on to the penultimate lap now, so it's all to play for. Drummond seemingly going to win it at the front, but beyond that, it's anybody's game. Sasaki and Miyazono still joined at the hip as they go up through the S's once more. Now we know the F50 that Miyazono in that awesome yellow paint is not quite as quick as Sasaki in a straight line, but using the draft is able to stay with them, and then is quicker in the corners. So unsurprisingly there, penalty there for Jose Serrano for some contact with another car. Miyazono, I think, there in the background.
Yeah, on the final lap. This is the incident which caused Robbie Heck to go plummeting down the order. So he got in a straight. Oh, he lost it on his own. He just hit the white line on the inside, then spent the next time saving it. Got it back, saved it again, got it back, ended up getting 5th there as well for good measure. Miyazono versus Sasaki, part 3.
Miyazono up into 2nd position, so he's overtaken Sasaki again there, just off camera. He just missed it during the replay. So now Sasaki is back in 3rd position in the Maserati. Great fight between these replay. Sasaki just up the hill here, and Miyazono using the slipstream to try and get back through, but I then think just lost it again coming through here. But great images between the two here.
Yeah, brilliant racing then as we come through the final series of corners. Look at this, side by side we go. Down into the right-hander, Sasaki on the inside, Miyazono on the outside. Maserati versus Ferrari, the two Japanese drivers giving absolutely no quarter, and Sasaki is back through ahead of Miyazono with just a couple more corners now remaining. Through the left we go, and surely this one goes to Sasaki unless he makes a mistake. He runs it onto the grass, onto the curb. Is that now a bit of an opportunity ready for Miyazono to try and pounce as we flick it through the left-hander? Kylian Drummond's 5 seconds up the road. He's going to win this one. We come through the final corner. Miyazono's going to try and out-drag Sasaki, but he's not going to have the opportunity. Sasaki's very, very close as Kylian Drummond takes the checkered flag and the victory. We come across the timing line then to begin the final lap. Actually, I beg your pardon, as we head down to the first corner. So Sasaki it is, with Miyazono very close behind.
Yeah, Drummond so far in the lead there that Tom called the end of the race. That's how it's going, but we are still going. And in that Gallo gets back through past Serrano. So Gallo up into P4, but now Sasaki and Miyazono, this is their last opportunity, and they've been scrapping the whole race. They know each other's moveset by now, but Miyazono looking to the outside is going to be very brave to go around the outside. Here he does, gets it done with the slipstream, which puts Sasaki now back into 3rd place. Coque Lopez now, by the way. Oh, it's all going on down here.
Look at this. Guy Barbara, Valerio Gallo, Kai de Bruyne, Coque Lopez is up into 4th place now as well. Guy Barbara, Kai de Bruyne, and then you've got Valerio Gallo and John Carrazza all in the mix here as well. It's kicked off massively on this final lap, and somehow Lopez is having a fourth place. You've got lunges being made left, right and centre as we come through this left-hander into the final sector.
Yeah, Lopez lost the car there down the bottom there, so now kind of brewing back in there. Miyazono is now still defending here from Sasaki. These guys are still nose to tail. It's all going on everywhere on the circuit, with Drumont seemingly going to take this victory. They're side by side coming down the bottom here. Miyazono up the inside. Sasaki's going to try the long way around. Can he make it stick? No, not quite. Miyazono ahead with only 3 corners left.
This is super close between these two. Gallo and Lopez are under investigation for a collision as well. Miyazono parks the car on the apex, blocks any opportunity there for Sasaki to try and go through. We come in towards the final series of corners. Once again, this time around it will be the checkered flag as Miyazono once again takes a defensive line and Sasaki tries to attack. Drumont will take the victory and pole position for the grand final. The Frenchman does it in commanding style at Watkins Glen. It's a drag to the line for second, and Takuma Miyazono does take second place ahead of Sasaki, but it's not over further back. Lopez then will take fourth ahead of De Bruyne, Roth, Gallo, Barbara, Carrazza and Serrano down in 10th place on the final lap. Wow, what a dramatic end to the sprint race there, JB.
That was a certified Watkins Glen moment right there. That was such good.